Every case has a story, a fall, a fracture, a fight to get back up. But behind every recovery is a system, a strategy, and a team that moves fast when it matters most. This is Case by Case with Aaron Shaw and Claudia Wilson. Real challenges, real recoveries, and the systems that make them possible. An Injury Guard Solutions production.
Welcome to the deep dive. You know, when we talk workers' comp, minds usually jump to claims, maybe physical therapy, but there's this other piece, durable medical equipment, or DME, that might just be the unsung hero. Today, we're really digging into that, how DME helps injured workers get back on their feet, improves their mobility, and just makes life better during recovery. Yeah. We're basing this on the source, the role of durable medical equipment in workers' compensation cases. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, it's fundamental, really. DME basically refers to those medical devices, supplies that doctors prescribe. The key thing is they're meant for repeated use, long-term support, not disposable stuff. Think support for recovery or even managing a condition that came from the job injury.
Right, durable, repeated use. That makes sense. But let's make it more concrete for you listening. What kind of actual equipment are we talking about here? Beyond the obvious, maybe.
Good question. It's a wider range than you might think. You got your orthopedic stuff, knee braces, back supports, those wrist splints, things like that. Then mobility aids are huge wheelchairs, obviously, but also crutches, walkers. And for pain, you often see TNS units. Those use little electrical pulses and cold therapy systems. Plus, sometimes bigger things like hospital beds, patient lifts, or the CPM machines, continuous passive motion. They use those a lot after surgery to keep joints moving.
Wow, okay, that list really paints a picture. It's quite varied. Here's where it gets really interesting, though, especially in workers' comp. Why is this stuff essential? Not just, nice to have. Can someone just say, it's just another cost?
Well, what's fascinating here is how DME really drives recovery in 4 key ways. It often pushes back hard against that just another cost idea. First, it boosts mobility and independence. Think about it, a walker, a wheelchair, they let someone move around safely. Less risk of another fall, another injury. It's also about dignity, right? Mm-hmm. Being able to get around on your own.
Yeah, absolutely. That independence piece is huge.
Exactly. Second, it can actually speed up recovery. Things like the TNS units for pain or those CPM machines for joints, they actively help people heal faster. Less time recovering, fewer complications.
Makes sense. Less time off work, too.
Precisely. Third, preventing further injury. That knee brace example, it stabilizes things, stops you from making it worse. Proper support promotes proper healing, avoids setbacks.
Okay, and the fourth?
And fourth, and this often gets missed, it can actually reduce healthcare costs overall. Good rehab tools, good DME might mean less need for long hospital stays, maybe fewer therapy sessions down the road. So it benefits the worker's health and helps manage the total cost. It's an investment, really.
So the benefits seem pretty clear for the worker and ultimately the bottom line. But, navigating workers' comp can be tricky. Who makes sure the right equipment gets to the worker when they need it?
That's where DME providers come in. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, having a reliable provider is absolutely critical. Someone like Injury Guard Solutions, mentioned in the source, they work closely with the doctors, the case managers. They figure out exactly what's needed for that specific person, that specific injury.
So they're kind of the link between the medical side and the patient.
Exactly. They handle the delivery, the setup. Super important, they also provide training, making sure the person knows how to use it safely and effectively. Plus, they help with the insurance and workers' comp claim side of things. They streamline that whole process, which, let's be honest, can be a headache.
Okay, take some of the burden off the injured worker, too.
Definitely. Makes the whole thing smoother, faster approvals, better outcomes all around.
So what does this all mean? It feels like DME isn't just equipment. It's a really active part of the recovery journey in workers' comp. It supports the employee, improves their care, gets them back to work potentially faster, and just makes the whole system work a bit better.
Absolutely sums it up. And maybe a final thought for you to consider. Think about how this integration, the medical tech, the logistics support from DME providers, it often flies under the radar, right? But it really forms the backbone of an effective recovery system. So the question becomes, beyond just helping one person heal, how might really efficient, thoughtful DME provision impact overall workforce health? And maybe even economic stability in the longer term? Something to think about.
Tune in to the next episode of Case by Case with Aaron Shaw and Claudia Wilson, and listen to more insights, stories, and discussions around workers' comp, DME, and recovery, an Injury Guard Solutions production.
Care that moves you.